A big hello and welcome to Manchester for the latest edition of MMTV Unlocked. We are Manchester's live and premier online rock and roll television channel, broadcasting live from Marley Mancunia Studios in Miles Platting in Manchester. I'm Dave Sweetmore. We're going to be talking you right through the night tonight. We've got a full evening of guests, music, sport, icons, loads and loads of stuff going on. And obviously, with things the way they are at the moment, the pandemic and stuff, we are observing to all the social distancing rules. We haven't got a studio audience upstairs in our studio, but I am down here in our new rock and roll diner at Marley Mancunia Studios, what's open all week for food and drinks. It's an art and socials club, and all the information is on the MMTV social media channels. So, let me tell you what's going to be happening tonight. We've got live music coming up a little bit later on from Monica Ward, drug cheat athlete, and the brilliant Vinnick Peculiar Band. We're going to be talking to two of Berry's famous musical sons, Steve Ferringo and Mick Kiernan, about the brilliant, legendary Ferringo Fest and all the work they do raising money for charities. The one and only spoken word poet Carl Hildebrandt is back. He'll be making himself known when he's here, and we're going to be talking to writer and broadcaster Mike Bennett as well. But this is the first time it's been on camera. We are downstairs in the MMTV Rock and Roll Diner, and my first guest is no stranger to MMTV. Last time he joined us, we were in the centre of Manchester at one of our outside broadcasts. Tonight, though, we're in the diner. It's the one and only man of the moment, Justin Eagleton. Come on, man, how are you doing? Can't do that,
nice
innit? Yeah, good to see you again. You're right. Last time we saw you, we was in Manchester at the outside broadcasting venue we did. It was a great night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good night.
Was that the one Rowetta were there? And
Rowetta was there, yeah, there was a load of bands on. It was really good.
Yeah, it was a great night. So last time we saw you, we were talking obviously about, you know, the great work you did on the side of the Printworks, the big memorial there. And then since then, you've become man of the moment again. You're all over social media. You're all over the news for Maskchester. So tell us a little bit about Maskchester and where the idea came from to get involved with that.
So basically, yeah, what I wanted to do was, being as everybody's got to wear masks, and it's a difficult time for us, I thought I'd try and transpose some of my artwork onto the masks and see if we can make a bit of a difference that way, really. And we're giving some of the money back to the GM Mayor's charity, and we're also giving some of it back to Manchester Mind. So basically, we're making money. You know, we're raising awareness of the masks, and it seems to be really well received so far.
Everyone knows you because you're one of the most, famous creative people in Manchester. Obviously, everyone got to know you because of the work you did on the side of the Printworks. So where's the inspiration come from for these masks then? Because, there's loads of different designs what you're doing, isn't there?
Yeah, so I've tried to keep them as simple as possible, really, and sort of make them look like if you know, you know, and that's how I do my artwork. I don't like to have everything really obvious. I like to have a subtle difference with what I do. So I've made them simple, colourful. We've got like nods to dance, nods to culture, music. We've obviously got red and blue.
Which
football.
is what Manchester's great for, isn't it? Cool and underground, and
yeah,
if you know, you know, like you say.
I think it's, I mean, I've been quite cheeky, so I've called it Maskchester, and I changed the Tony Wilson quote to "We wear things differently here," to make it a bit of a brand, and it seems to have been well received.
Seems to have been. Well, since I first saw you mention it on social media, it's gone through the roof, and you've been all over the BBC with it, and everyone's really picked up on it. And are they selling well at the moment?
We can't print them quick enough, so it's a really good thing. It is raising a lot of money, but it is a difficult thing to do. There are a lot of mask companies out there, but obviously they're all printing thousands of them. So lots of people are getting on board that way, but it is a case of, if you bear with us, you can actually get them from maskchester.com.
The great quality as well, what you do.
Yeah,
well,
I've got a couple
I know
here
you've got
just
a few
to
of
show
your
off.
designs there.
A few of them here,
I'll tell you, if I hold you mic, do you want to talk us through them? And,
So this is your city one. So it's, again, very simple colours. This is my artwork that I did for my Alan Turing artwork.
That's great, that one, isn't it?
That's a bit of all
Manchester one.
culture. That's the Maskchester logo included in there. But
it really was you that came up with the Maskchester thing first, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just come up with the name. I was just one of them where I woke up in the night annoyingly, and that was what I decided to do next day. NHS thank you ones. So we've created 7 designs. Thank you. Created 7 designs. We're bringing out a couple more next week.
So when you wake up in the morning, it used to be a case of, right, what T-shirt should I wear today? What socks should I put on? Is it now like, I've got all these masks, which mask should I put on?
Yeah, I'm like Batman. I have that many different masks. It's can prove quite entertaining at home.
it is all over social media at the moment, but if anyone's watching this, where can they get one of these masks from?
Yeah, if you go to masschester.com and hashtag that on social media, you'll find somebody annoyingly promoting it somewhere. So, yeah, we've got them all over the place at the minute.
So, obviously, we've got Printworks, we've got Masschester, and the other thing at the moment is, obviously, you know about our diner now, the MMTV Rock and Roll Diner, which is obviously part of the studio now as well. We've got loads of great artwork in here. Some of it's done by Anton, some of it's done by loads of great Manchester designers. We've not got one of yours.
I know, it's going to change very soon,
I believe you brought one for us. Nobody's actually seen this, have they? So,
No, I'm taking over the place. This is going to be about 10 foot wide,
can we have a look? You want me to hold the microphone again? So this is the one that Justin Eagleton is designing for MMTV, and we're going to put it up down here in the diner. So come down to the diner whenever you want to be able to see it.
This is a big, it's basically a big digital artwork, and we've tried to create everything that's related to MMTV, I suppose. I've made it sort of slightly religious because that's the window from Manchester Cathedral there, and just sort of tried to try to flow it through, really, of all the...
just looking around, there's some great things on it. And like I say, this is going to be going up here in the diner at MMTV. Loads and loads of the great musicians, you know, Johnny Marr's there, Ian Curtis, Oasis. You've got Carl Power, Fat Necks on the picture there from when he did his infamous photobomb with Manchester United. The MMTV logo. It really is, it says there, don't it? It really is a Manchester music. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just different, really. I like doing artwork that's different, and it makes you look into it a lot deeper than just looking at a picture and going, oh yeah, it's that. So you could spend hours looking at it. That's what I like to do.
You're going to blow this up. How big's that going to be?
It's got...
This is Anton, who's one of the producers of MMTV.
I got Justin involved in this project because he's obviously the biggest and best artist there is in Manchester. His murals on Printworks and everywhere else, they're amazing. So who else to represent something for Art Wall? So upstairs where it is, remember the original interview area where you used to sit on that
stage?
Yeah, and we used to stick posters up with blue tack, sellotape, crap that people had given us. So we needed something that represented all of us. So in that space, that's going to fill that massive space where you used to do the interview.
So this is going to be upstairs then?
That's going to be upstairs on stage side. So it's in all the shots when all the bands play. So that corner upstairs, directly above here, that's where it's going on that side there next to the projector.
So when you're watching MMTV, you'll be able to see that. And of course, if you come down to the diner during the week and Anton or Georgina or Carl's knocking about, they will take you up to show you this amazing thing. So thank you for doing that. We can't wait to have that up at MMTV. And it's not like you even stop there, is it? You've got something going on with Hooky at the moment, haven't you, Peter Hook?
Yeah, I'm doing a Zoom call tomorrow with Hooky. I'm doing something top secret, but I've just broke that secret right now.
Right, well, tell us what it is. We won't tell anyone.
I'm doing something Hacienda related. That's about as much as I can say.
And where's it going to be going?
Somewhere Hacienda related.
So when will we find out about this? You can't tease us like that.
It will be on sale, if that gives you a bit of a clue, in about 3 weeks. So I've got quite a bit of work to do because I'm not started yet.
So if you don't already follow Justin and you want to see some of his amazing work and where you can get the masks from, if you follow him on social media, you'll find out all this about with Peter Hook as well. But listen, thank you so much. Keep up the good work, what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
You know, the old Masschester thing as well, and it's great to see you as always. And we have got a few people in the diner. Let's say Justin Eagleton.
Thank you.
So you are watching MMTV. I'm Dave Sweetmore, and don't forget, I'm alive at the moment in the brand new diner. It just used to be a studio upstairs. We've got a rock and roll diner now, and we didn't mention before as well, if you are watching this, it is Mancunian, it is rock and roll. So if you're watching this in a bit, especially with the likes of Carl Hildebrandt here, there might be a little bit of effing and jeffing. We've got loads more guests to talk to. We've got Mick Kiernan, Steve Fringo. We're going to be chatting to these boys in a bit about the amazing the work they do, and obviously the fact that they're two of the most renowned musicians in Bury. But it is time for a little bit of live music. So follow me. We'll go upstairs to the studio. We've got a legendary band for you. I'll tell you who it is in a minute. Let's go upstairs. Don't forget all of the past shows of MMTV you can catch on the YouTube channels. Just type in MMTV Manchester. So as we leave the diner, we come out here. If we look over there, if we have a look down there, we've got Amanda selling food. She's not there. Oh, she's there. There's Amanda who does the food for the diner. Carl Hildebrandt's in the corner. You'll definitely be hearing more of him in a bit. Look, legend. Right, so that's the diner. This is the entrance. Let's go upstairs. Up these stairs, this is where the magic happens. This is the MMTV studio. This is the part of it you won't normally see when you're watching it. But as we come up here now, this is where the bands are going to be ready to play live. This next band are no stranger to Manchester music. Absolute legend in his own right with his band. We'll have a chat to him in a bit. But our first bit of live music tonight for MMTV Manchester, this is the Vinnie Peculiar Band.
Schools at war on the 318 on the 144 2XL, the old town hall. It's a long way back. We walked home before, yeah. Cricket club, discotheque, and a gang of lads in fancy dress. Getting chased over the waste ground to the new estate. It's lights of gas now, lights of bitch. Tony Blackburn, he's in bits. Rocky Horror, just like a witch. I am the grove, and you are the ditch. Endless fighting in the colleges, dancing at Forested, Strand Cafe at the top of the town. Gang of kids in Dr. Martens giving you the runaround. A feather cut in a barber shop, got a Les Paul copy and a smoker's cup. Hopwood hoedown, it's the Jamestown Ray. Dying of exposure, discontented winter days. Rooftop protest, not a stitch. Just Jesus loves you, yeah. Just play the hits. Show must go on without a hitch. 'Cause I am the grove and you are the ditch. Be in your gang, no puppy love, no Shangri-La. Tots and niggas, fools, romancing. No, it's way too many skinheads dancing. Guitar Hero gone to ground. The headline runs in the enemy and sounds. Once upon a time he was bound for glory. Now he's a tax exile and a closet Tory. Wacky warehouse and you up your tits. Thrills and pills and starts and fits. You'll make you big there, give you a twitch. 'Cause I am the grove, you are the ditch. Yes, you are. I am the grove, you are the ditch. 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 Oh, yes, you are the ditch.
Okay, well, it's very good to be back in Manchester. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the wild and crazy world of TV. This song was written and inspired by the artist Grayson Perry, and it's called Grayson.
Grayson, let's do this thing. Art is like the real thing. Times change. Those dreary clothes get out like strobes. Estrella, the Pittsburgh Cinderella, gave everybody tickets to the ball. Danger, that devil kid, he gives you colored pencils from beneath the coffin lid. Oh, Grayson, alone upon a screen, Skyping, suspended in a dream. Smoke Tucker beats the loving drum of human kindness. Everybody freezes. We all need a little more Grayson, turn up the delights of a broken kill and a teddy bear called Alan. Let's make art, Grayson. Let's do this stuff. We can paint in soy sauce. We can sculpt in mud. Recycle, remodel, reconfigure. We can turn back time. Cry river, Grayson. This is our time. We all need a little more art in our life. We all need a little more art. Grayson, my vision sits with the wild ones and all misfits. Artifacts of isolation for my consideration. Let's make art, Grayson. Let's do this stuff. We can paint in soy sauce. We can sculpt in mud. Recycle, remodel, and reconfigure. We can turn back time. Cry river, oh Grayson. We can do this thing. We all need a little more art in our life. We all need a little more art. Yeah, we all need a little more art in our life. Grayson, Grayson. The art of the Redican book. I said I wish Bob Dylan would let me off the hook. Grayson, the ethereal is nearer than you think. It's there. Have some friends, take the bow. Here we go now. Here we go now. We all need a little more art in our life. We all need a little more art. Yes, we do. Oh, yeah. Darling. Expressionism. Conceptualism's world of math. Da da
Okay, this is a song from the last Vinny Peculiar record called While You Still Can. It's called Culture Vulture. How did you get on? Where did you go wrong? Who do you think you are? How much can you take? Keep your foot on the brake and leave your shoes by the door. Screw you, screw you, screw you. Culture vulture, time like a chimpanzee hangs from the balcony, drops a Mahler symphony, promises to set your mind free. Art is a tired old man, science doesn't have a plan. Radio, a black hole, recycles the same old hyperbole. Screw you, screw you, screw you, culture vulture. Embrace the unpopular song, expect to get it all wrong and wash the car. So come on, there's a little bit of me and where you're from. Do your best to entertain. It's mine, an unfortunate name like Shaw. Right for the many cold, but few get above. Screw you, screw you, screw you. Culture vulture. Drop in the ocean, alright. A grain of sand on the beach in the moonlight. Fake news, heads in a spin. Bit like me, bit like him. Heart for the horse, time for the corpse. Be gone. The pain's gonna sell, but you can't afford tomorrow. Screw you, screw you. Culture vulture. I'm in the Trafford Centre. Get me out of here. I've got this morbid fear. I'm in the jungle. Get me out of here. Yeah, I've got this morbid fear. Get me out of here. Screw you. Screw you. Wow. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, small socially distanced gathering. Appreciate that.
So there we go. How about that then? The brilliant Vinny Peculiar Band. Since we started MMTV almost 2 years ago now, I know that's a band and a man we've been wanting to get on for a while. How's it going, mate? You all right? Yeah, if you would, please.
Yeah, it's going all right, yeah. I lived in Manchester for 23 odd years, but now I moved back to the Midlands, so we drove up from the Midlands today with a new band.
Well, we really...
To do today's session, so it's great for me because it feels very nostalgic and always there's a great warm feeling for me coming back up north. I always feel like slightly northern.
Well, that's it. And things like this, it's proper underground rock and roll, isn't it? It's what, you know what I mean, Manchester's all about. Over the years, you've been called like an unsung national treasure, a warm-hearted Morrissey, and it's safe to say you've got a great legacy on this Manchester music scene. What's been your favourite part of your career? Because obviously you've worked with loads of Manchester icons, and not including, you know, your present band.
Okay.
Got to say that, not including your present band. What would you say has been the highlight of Vinny Peculiar's career?
Well, I had a lot of fun in various bands with Mancunians whilst I was here. Probably, I should give a mention to Ben Knott, who's here in the corner looking very stylish, because he's in the band that's coming on next, the one about the athletes and the drugs. And I have not seen Ben for a while, but we were in a band for a long time. Myself, Ben, Mike Joyce and Andy Rourke from the Smiths in a 4-piece band that lasted 3 or 4 years. That was a lot of fun, and that was way back 2006-ish. So,
like you say, you mentioned that with Mike Joyce and Andy Rourke. Last time I saw you, it's a while ago, it's when you was in the band with Bonehead, Parlour Flames, you were doing stuff like that. Do you still keep in touch with all them lads?
I do, yeah. We have a regular curry night that Ben's part of. Ben, Mike, Joyce, Bonehead and me are curry mile aficionados. And even though I'm living in the Midlands, I still come up for curry nights 2 or 3 times a year. And of course, at the moment, we can't really do it, which is... Mike Joyce was on the phone the other day, kind of bemoaning the lack of curry nights.
Do you think you'll ever move back up to Manchester?
Well, well, who knows? You never say never. But yeah, I've settled back in the Midlands now, where I have family and various other kind of grown-up commitments.
It's been a peculiar. You're on 12. Am I right in thinking 12 albums now? The latest album being While You Still Can. What gives you the inspiration going for all these bands? Do you find that your musical tastes change on the albums, or do you still listen to the same people?
I definitely think musical tastes change, and I've tried to do albums, different albums with different feels and different concepts. The last 3 or 4 albums have been more conceptual, so they have a theme running through them. This next album that I'm doing, which I'm involved with these lads, which is my new band, can I introduce them for you?
Absolutely. How are you doing, lads?
On the drums, Mr. Joe Singh.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, hey Joe. Just like the song.
Hey, Joe.
And on bass, Mr. Pete Mann.
How are you, Pete?
And on guitar, Mr. Lawrence Rushton.
How are you, matey?
So,
are they all Midlands,
they're
lads?
all from Worcester. We're all based in Worcester, and yeah, that's where we've come up from today.
So obviously, I can't talk about the gigs and stuff at the moment because they're not happening.
Sure.
Have you plans, with this new band, have you plans of doing any live gigs, any up in Manchester?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a gig penciled in on the Wirral for October, which I think now may be cancelled, but I'm not sure. The last gig I played in Manchester was the Castle with a different band on Oldham Street, which is one of my favourite all-time venues.
Yeah, it's a great venue.
But the new album, that I mentioned, concept albums, is an art-inspired album, and you heard a song there about Grace and Perry, and that's a kind of thematic concept album, and these lads are going to be involved in making some of that with me.
It's great to see you still passionate and, about your creativity stuff. It's just great to see you again, to be honest with you. Really, really appreciate all of you taking the time to come up to Manchester for MMTV. I know you've got a bit of a trek back now, so safe trip, lads. Take it easy. We'll see you soon, yeah? Okay, so our next guest needs no introduction whatsoever to MMTV. He's, without a doubt, one of the most popular and notorious spoken word poets in the area. I get a bit nervous when he's here, if I'm honest, but it is a great pleasure to see him again. The one and only Carl Hildebrandt. How are you doing, man? Can you talk into the microphone? He was shouting amateurs at us before, and look at him here now. Anyone?
All right, brother.
Hey, listen, good. How are you coping with the lockdown and stuff?
Just got it right, haven't you? Got to be creative.
Have you found that, the lockdown's been on, have you found that you've been writing more poetry at home, or...
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's been more creative, not necessarily actually the quantity, the quality, I suppose. Because I always do one-page pieces at the minute, as opposed to doing epics, as they say. But
it's been interesting because a lot of the bands we've had on MMTV have been saying that, they've enjoyed the time, as much as they've missed gigging and being in the studio, they've enjoyed the time writing at home, and everyone seems to be more creative while they've had this time at home.
I think that's part of being an artist or a creative. You create. That's what it says. It does what it says on the tin. You know what I mean? You create something. You know what I mean? And I think that's. And I think also with the lockdown sort of side of it, what you basically got is you don't know what's coming next. So you just, and for months and months and months, you sort of go, right, right, I'll write that down. Like I said, I must have filled about 12 or 13 notebooks up just with one pages.
Have you found yourself writing any poems about the lockdown or what life's like during the lockdown?
I've got a couple. As you know, my other half, who stood on the over there, she's frontline NHS. So I've got it from, and I've not seen her properly for 5 or 6 months. We get as much time together as we can, which is here tonight. But it's one of them where you sort of like, you see it from other people's point of view as well. My old man's 78, so I've got to look after him. I live with him, so it's just mad.
We're going to let you do some poems in a minute, but first of all, the one thing I wanted to say is how it works, MMTV, is the week before we record, Georgina, who's our artist liaison, she'll normally email me or text me loads of information about the acts that are on, so I could do some research to interview the bands and find out about them and talk about them and stuff. Now, when Carl's on, it literally just says, Carl Hildebrandt. There's no explanation needed whatsoever. So, but one thing that did interest me is, you know, we have the bands on, they come and play at MMTV and stuff. You actually, I heard a little bit of a rumour that we didn't have any notes about you, but you had a rider. Is that right?
Yeah, oh, here we go. And I brought my own.
Now, I'll be honest, I don't know anything about this.
That is not a cream egg.
Well, I don't know anything about this. All I got told was, Carl Hildebrandt's here, and he's got a rider, and he wants a Kinder Egg.
That's not a cream egg.
I don't know.
No, I wanted a cream egg, and I've got one in my bag here, which I'm going to throw at you. No, I'm going to throw it at Anton in a minute. No,
well,
nice
I've
one,
been
mate.
told to give you that because apparently in nearly 2 years of MMTV, you're the first person who's wanted a rider, and he wanted a Kinder Egg.
I'll do. I've only got soy in it, I'm not bothered.
We like to keep our guests happy. Anyway, listen, I'm going to leave you to it, mate. This is the brilliant Carl Hildebrandt.
Right, I'll start off with this one. And I want to do, what I basically say is, I want to rename this part of MMTV. I'm going to cry in a minute, actually. Might be a few tears. But when I make this part of it, MMTVD, and this is for Denise Johnson, because she's one of the first people that championed, so to speak, some of my spoken word via me posting stuff on Twitter. So this is for Denise, it was a birthday yesterday as well, which was a bit of a shitter as well this week. But and for CP Lee, and for Dave Booth, but this is called Sand. Nothing is missed more than forgetting that you remembered. Hands open, you know you can clap. And no purpose to imagine, yet no excuse to ignore. You need catch the day before it slips away and hides behind tomorrow. Feet forward, you know you can dance. And whatever is happening is because it's happened. It was meant to happen. Happenstance. And it's not just how you stand, it's how you walk. And I know enough to know I know nothing. All fingers and thumbs succumbed. No need to explore when you ignore. And I don't feel like a stranger in your own life or your life. Take time apart and try to start the art that you beat up and that beat you down. And frown at the clown in the crown as morning shuffles into the view for you. But hold on to my hand and understand that the only way to land is always the right way up. Rainy shame dried up again, livid with hate, you arrive late, all puffed up chest and simple rest, cockeyed and humble. Owing nothing to no one means more than taking a smile on loan. That's all you moan, alone. And I did it on purpose whilst you made your own mistakes unfolding before your very eyes. You shuffled enshrouded into lies and stained with a life so grey with greed it make you bleed. And insistence isn't an option when your choice was to give up before you even started. As sure as it is poor, empty hand and empty page at this stage shows everyone your age. Too young to be complete, too old to just behave. Mic drop. Right. Now I set. Hang on. I'm a poet. I don't do microphones. Apologies. I feel quite proud of this one. And it is for the NHS, and it is for my Vanessa. Hang on. One sec. Professional. This one's called Let's Gather Feathers. One of my favourite singer-songwriters asked me the other week to if you could use a line out of it. to write a song, and he did. One-Sided Horse, Mark Whiteside, also part of Evil Blizzard. But this is the full piece. And it's scurrilous and underhand, the way that you'd expect it to land, always the right way around. Can you hear that sound? And it's sneaky and snide when you decide to hide all that love inside. But can you hear that sound? So let's collect feathers forever. Build our own bird cage, build our own nest, build our own escape and create the cure. And it's sad that we wish the dawn, same smiles since the day we were born. But can you hear that sound? And it's a troubling time because you were mine, yet we're miles apart. But you're still in my heart. But I can hear that sound. And let's gather feathers so we can be forever. And let's collect the dust and do as we must. Mic drop. Right, what do this one? Hang on. Technology. No, I don't want to take a picture of myself, come on. This is rock and roll TV, people. Files. Mind the gap. Tonight I'll have a what's it's obviously starting. Let me a drink. Starting to have like a theme of loss. But I think we've gone through a load of loss recently between us, the whole world and people personally, I suppose. But yeah, and I don't really want to be dead dark, but George knows who this is. Georgina knows who Jerry Potter is. Ness knows as well. And it's something he posted the other day, and he's a top poet. And this just inspired me to do a load. So I asked him, I said, can I do it? He went, yeah, of course you can. Do it live. Guess you maybe get used to loss. Suppose I have, but you never fully know. There are times, though, for me, thankfully, few but many, that you just definitely, it hits you, and it hits you, however, whyever, wherever, landing. It's your heart's heavy, dark, leadens, kind of slows down, and echo aches. Oh, not everything, but a car crash and its collision, and twisting intensity. You're leaving you wholly wanting, hopelessly needing, and thing is, they're gone. There's no way of getting them back. And right now, remembering's all is the fact that you ate it. Reality's a bitch. But deep somewhere, a part of me knows about that. Makes all the sense. A truly crap, lonely sensation. A flesh loved. And it makes me aware of what not being able to be loved might mean or be. Which is holistically is a loathing, a generally heartbreaking feeling. I'd rather feel this than perhaps never being loved. And I can't imagine what not being loved must feel like. You know what's weird about doing this tonight, because it's being recorded, is no one's clapping me. Yeah, what's wrong with feeling? Right, now, last one. Now, I must say this is, I did this when I first was on MMTV, and I was incredibly drunk and mistook Dave Sweetmore for Anton Pell. So he knows the story. But this is a different version. But every time the letter Darren turns up, or the word Darren turns up, just think of Dave. This is called Another Bastard List Poem about Liverpool. Excuse me. Angry Anton from Anfield spilled his £5 cup of coffee. Anton is livid. And Boz-eyed Brenda from Broad Green is always moaning about the darkies, which she's got centre 2 eyes. And Crappy Claire from Childwall is addicted to Jeremy Kyle. She's appearing on the show next week. But she's not, because it got cancelled because he was a dickhead. And dickhead Darren from Dingle in his knitted yoghurt hat. Darren's a twat. And Eager Elaine from Everton sells Avon, and so does her dad. And Forlorn Frida from Vizakli works down the bookies, but she hates bloody horses. And Grubby Jed from Garson collects toenail clippings, not necessarily his own. I know. And Happy Ellen from Aylwood sleeps with a gardener, viciously and often. And Ellen thinks Darren's a twat as well. And Ian from Islington plays Warhammer on his own, and he's lost his dice twice. And Jealous John has just got Ellen in the shed wearing a grow bag. And Kindly Carl from Kenny writes this all down and smiles sometimes. And Lazy Lisa from Liverland hates her kids and her mum. It's her own fault. Or Darren's. You choose. And Mad Ass Mark from McGull wish Hitler was still alive. And he's a bigger twat than Darren. And Normal Nina from Norwich Green isn't normal. She's well fucking weird, to be honest. Obnoxious Olive from Old Swan only eats on Thursdays. She's happy, but she's a beast. And Pedantic Phil from Prescott once bought Pete Wiley a pint and drank it himself. And Quirky Quincy from Queen's Drive likes to juggle sharp things. He's only got one hand. And Ridiculous Richie from Roby makes artisan pencils from dust he's collected and sells that to that twat, Darren. And Sickly Little Simon from Speak hasn't been out in years. And it's down to the fact that he's doing a 20 stretch in Walton. And Timmy Teresa from Toxteth likes gardening in the nude. And she only owns a window box. Now, I'll get to the end of the alphabet here, so don't start rushing me, because it just goes all wrong now. Underwhelming Ursula from Hutton Avenue once went out with Darren. Not that Darren. And Virtuous Vanessa from Vauxhall swears she's still a virgin. She's Darren's mum. And Windy Wendy from Waterloo once went to Blackpool on her own, and it was shut. This is where it gets difficult. An excited Xavier from Exeter is a mature student studying arts at John Moore's. He smells of pencils and cheap speed. And Yellow Yvonne owns a local Chinese chippy, and she sells out-of-date forks. And I can't do Darren at the end of this. And because his notes rhyme with Z, we'll all call Dave a twat instead.
I love the way he ends with that, you know what I mean? He's meant to be like a Manchester creative mate, and he ends with things like that. Carl Hildebrand, thank you. Absolute legend, and no doubt it won't be too long before he's all over social media saying, can I do a poem? And he's back at MMTV. But cheers, Carl, take it easy, man, yeah? Okay, so we're back over here now at MMTV in the live band part of the studio. Our next guests tonight have been on the scene for a couple of years, drug cheat athlete, but they've got a very, very special guest vocalist with them tonight, playing with the band for the first time. Hannah Jacobson, how are you doing, Hannah?
I'm good, how are you?
Hey, listen, thank you for joining us on MMTV. Now, first of all, people watching this, all the musos of Manchester, might recognise you from your other band.
Yeah. Well, I've been in a few bands. I've been gigging around Manchester, band on the wall type of thing, you know, off the square. But this band that I'm starting recently is quite recent, and then been with these guys since like day one of writing. So. Now
everyone knows these lads. It's almost like a super group of Manchester musicians, isn't it? You know what I mean? How have you come to work with these lads, with this collective band?
Well, first of all, it's like an absolute honour to play with such legends in my eyes. I mean, I've known Ben since I was like yay big, but yeah, they've just took me in, brought me up as the musician I am today.
Well, it's great to see you here, and obviously there's no gigs or anything at the moment, so once gigs can go back to normal, do you plan on doing some gigs with these lads as well?
Yeah. I'm always up for gigging. I miss it a lot now that obviously we're in lockdown, but yeah, can't wait to get gigging again.
Well, listen, it's great to see you here tonight with the lads as well, and it's a pleasure to have you at MMTV. MMTV, we're live at Marlon Mancuni's studio. This is Drug Cheat Athlete.
time to get to know me. After all, baby, don't you think you own me? Own me. To my friends, they say you move too slowly. Show myself a with a drink or with a rolling. Hold your tongue, cause you're gripping me too slowly. Why you gotta be that way? Why you gotta? Why you gotta feel that way? Blazing sun, don't take away tomorrow, my sorrow. When I feel like shit. Sometimes it feels like I run around in circles. Sometimes it's hard to figure out how to work us when you don't give a shit. Why you gotta be that way? Why you gotta? Why you gotta feel that way? The blazing sun don't take away tomorrow, my sorrow. When I feel like shit. Sometimes it feels like I'm looking out on death's door. Death's door. Why you gotta feel that way? Why you gotta? Why you gotta feel that way?
To continue, our next tune is called From the Skies Above.
strangest feeling in the world. Here comes the 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 greatest. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice one.
Thanks a lot, night.
So there we go, another super group of Manchester musicians brought to you by MMTV, the brilliant drug cheat athlete. Okay, before I introduce you to my next guest, just need to tell you, I know there's not a lot of gigs happening at the moment, but there is one taking place on Saturday, the 22nd of August at the World Irish Heritage Centre in Manchester. It's a socially distanced one, so there's not going to be as many people there as normal, but it's still going to be a great day. It's called MM Fest, which is Marley Mancunian Fest. I'm going to be there hosting and DJing the day, and there's loads of great bands playing as well, including The Moods, Pagans, Anti-Blowback Technology, Cold Water Swimmers, Black Sonic Revolver, Flechettes, loads of top bands on. I know there's only about 50 or 60 tickets left, and it is going to be going ahead. If you want tickets, get in touch with any of the bands that are on, or you can get them from facebook.com/Marley Mancunian MCR. Like I say, all the details on the MMTV Facebook pages. But Saturday, the 22nd of August, MM Fest, 12 till 12 at the World Irish Heritage Centre in Manchester. Okay, it's time to meet our next guest over in the corner. He is a British writer and record producer. He is the one and only Mr. Mike Bennett. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. That's a great band. I can't pigeonhole them, but I can hear bits of David Byrne, a little bit of Talking Heads, a bit of Tom Tom Club, and a little bit of, ironically, sort of Funkadelic is in there
Great
somewhere.
band. Loads of, proper time-served musos as well. Just a great band.
I really enjoyed them.
Anyway,
Brilliant.
let's talk about you. Mike Bennett, British writer and record producer. Your first ever record you produced was Toyah Wilcox. How would you go from being a music fan to producing Toyah Wilcox?
Well, what happened was I was in Borstal. I like to call it approved school. I've downgraded it. And I went to my governor and I said, I reckon I could be an actor. He said, can I audition for drama school, please? He told me to fuck off. He didn't say that, he clipped me around the ear, but to me that's like a physical fuck off. Yeah. And I went, wait a minute. If you let me audition for drama school and I get in, you will be perceived as progressive. He went, come back, it's not a bad idea. I'd already had people on the outside arranging the auditions, doing a little bit of sneaky PR. I got into all three, and so I was transported into Lovey World. Didn't really want to be with Loveys, but it was better than fucking approved school. Dawlish fucking college in Devon. Bunch of right? So, a lot of people shared the same interests, like music. People like Toyah Wilcox, Hazel O'Connor, all actors.
What music were you into at the time?
The Sweet, Psychedelic Furs, Concert Angels, Van der Graaf Generator, and later on I got into Sugar Pop. So I like Wigfield and Aqua, as well as Venom, who I am now doing an offshoot of Venom with as we speak. And we're doing, I'm hoping, because they said, what cover would you like to do? Puppy Love by Donny Osmond, in the style of Venom. But I'm also working on, it's finished now, an underrated glam rock group called the Rubettes, featuring...
Of course, the Rubettes, Sugar Baby Love, and
John, Mick
Jukebox
and
Jive,
Steve.
all that,
Well, if you think about glam rock, right, very carefully, because I've written the book that goes with the box set. It's called Glamnesia, obviously. The reason that came about was that myself and Steve Etherington were in Munich in a hotel, and we were writing this song, and there was a rat-a-tat-tat on the door. Nasty fucking security guard twat said, "You're making too much noise, and there's a honeymoon couple next door." Actually, we could hear them shagging, but we didn't complain. But anyway, Steve Etherington said, "I'm really sorry, I suffer from amnesia." And I said, "Ooh, there's the fucking title, Glamnesia." So we decided we would tell the history of glam rock. Glam rock, this is my spin on it, because I used to write for Encore magazine, and I went to a lot of the old-time musicals, and I was going through some literature of the Players Theatre, and there was an old saying, "Come in your glad rags," but they said glam rags, and that created pearly kings and queens. Now, if you think about it, it was in poverty-stricken times. So, when the going gets tough, the tough go glam. Now, travel in time to the golden years of '73, when Steve Priest, from Sweet God Rest His Soul, sported a swastika and a Nazi uniform on top of the pops on Christmas Day, singing Blockbuster, "You better beware, you better take care, you better watch out if you've got long black hair." Ted Bundy was on the fucking run at that point. So he's singing that song on top of the pops with a great degree of humour. And then I realised that the glam rockers from, I call it the golden year, Bowling was arguably the first, but if you look at The Move, 1972, listen to that song about Fire Engine, and look at Arthur Brown, it was happening then. Anyway, I digress. As glam rock was on the wane and punk was moving in, prog rock was getting the fucking piss taken out of it. I worked with Emerson, Lake and Palmer. They were fucking great. I don't give a fuck what people say, right? So, what happened was that Sweet started to get sleazy, and they got like Action, Fox on the Run. Had an album called Give Us a Wink, originally called Give Us a Wank. On the back of it, it said, Queen were a bunch of wankers / winkers, depending on which country they got away with it in, right? And they travelled the pond. Don't forget that the glam rockers of the golden era of '73, '74, the Rubettes, plundered the American jukebox diners, so you can hear all the influences of the American jukebox diners. Apart from Roy Wood, he plundered the Phil Spector catalogue. But then what we did was an English version of it. Then we sailed the pond and we sold it back to them. We gave them a turd with a fucking English flag on it, and out came corporate glam, hair metal, glam metal, Twisted Sister, good band actually, Kiss, bollocks in my opinion. I do like Cheap Trick. I like Cheap Trick.
the original glam rock from like the early 70s played such an important part in music that, in my opinion, sometimes gets a bit overlooked,
I
doesn't it?
totally agree with you. Like, Tiger Feet from Mud reminds me of a music hall song. The producers of the day were Svengalis. Because not many people know this, but I've written in the book. Tony Hatch produced David Bowie. It didn't work, right? So in comes Visconti, but the person that really smashed it was Mickey Most, which is why I've come up with the phrase, Tony hatched the plot,
Now,
but Mickey made
Most-
the most.
Yeah, Mickey Most was like Herman's Hermits. And
Mickey
stuff like that
made
back
the
in day,
most.
wasn't he? Yeah.
Mickey made the most, but Tony hatched the plot.
So, right, let's talk about you again. We've got the glam rock stuff.
It's a great subject. Me.
Well, exactly, that's what you're here for.
Fucking hell.
Over the years, you've worked with the Stranglers, you've worked with The Fall, you've worked with Ian Brown. Who's been your favourite artist to work with?
Mark E. Smith.
Absolute legend, yeah.
An absolute gentleman. A beautiful man.
You didn't even have to think about that.
Misunderstood. He would pay you up front, right? Let's say that you were a little bit, right? And you wrote a song with him. He would remember you would get paid on time. He was a philanthropic man, but he didn't like to be known as that. So he had a persona. Now, myself, Mark Smith, and I was about to say Ian Brown. He's another one that likes the sweet. Myself, Simon Wollstonecroft, and Mark E. Smith, on the tour bus, used to watch sweet videos because we were into all that glam stuff. And now, if you go onto YouTube, my favourite Mark E. Smith moment ever is Glitter Freeze with Gorillaz when he comes on with the Alvin Stardust glove but wasn't very keen on working with Mick Jones from what he would call the coffee table punk band The Clash. He said, I don't want fucking one golf down. Anyway, watch carefully and you'll see that he comes on with the Alvin Stardust glove, which wasn't the Alvin Stardust glove. It was a joke. And he turns Mick Jones's amplifier off. And that's why Mark E. Smith means a lot to me. That's theatre, that's glam. He had the two drummers, and it was called Glitter Freeze, and I won't say what I think that was about, but...
He was a great, great man. You've got a project going on at the moment called Rendasium, I think I've got it right.
Yeah,
and
no, I've absolutely got rid of them.
So
I've put their desk in the fucking lift because they're right?
So what about this
No,
song?
don't quote me on that. They're lovely people.
In my notes, right, you've done a cover of the Push Bike song, which was
Yeah.
originally done by the Mixtures.
Yeah.
Mungo Jerry covered it.
It's now being done by the Rubettes. We've given that to the Rubettes.
So the Rubettes are going to do a cover of the Push Bike song.
In a glam metal style. New York Dolls meet Hollywood Brats.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So when can we expect to hear that then?
Allegedly, it comes out on the 25th of September, but the most important project to me and very dear to my heart, my dear friend Georgina, right? She's my line producer, my headmistress.
Now, for those watching, Georgina's our artist liaison
We
for
have
the
done
MMTV.
a movie which has been hell and heaven all mixed into one. Some of it was shot in California actually, but we got rid of the porn element. We've got a new actress now, thank Christ, because I'm very anti that kind of pornography that degrades women. But we won't go there. I just did. I brushed up on it. What happens is that Georgina got involved. She's been really, really brilliant on the project. In fact...
Unsung hero of Manchester music,
listen,
Georgina.
So what happens
Sorry.
is, the first one's called Laundry Matt. And this guy called Matt, right, he got pushed down the stairs as a child. He broke his leg, right? And his mother, who pushed him down the stairs when he was 12, sticks the knickers in his mouth, and they run a laundromat. So his name's Matt, works at the laundry. He gets caught from the service wash, goes to prison, right? When he comes out of prison, he is in trouble with his sister, Creep Suzette. That's her name. That actress has been replaced. Thank God. Oh my God, thank God. She was quite a nice person, actually, but we got a better actress, right? And Creep Suzette, and by the way, it's starring, well, these are the list of people we've got on it. Budget, 15p. Daryl Hannah, right? Line producer, Georgina Robinson. Mike Bennett, auteur over the whole fucking thing. Terry Marsh, legal. Thank you, Terry. You sorted it. Fucking great, right? And basically, what Creep Suzette decides to do is murder Matt, death by tumble dryer, turn him into a detergent, turns him into a detergent, and markets him as a commercial commodity. And Fuzzbox are the sales girls, and my long-term dear friend, Neville Staple of the Specials, who I have worked with for my whole career, on and off. I've done 3 of the hits and lots of album stuff, and Christina Sugary Staple must be mentioned because Georgina cast her in the movie.
So this storyline for the film, who wrote the storyline? Just out of curiosity.
A demon inside the minuscule but highly active mind that lives inside my bonds.
When are people going to be able to see this movie? Because it does sound very, very interesting.
It's great. I'm boasting, but it's fucking great. And Terry Marsh, my lawyer, right, a very, very esteemed lawyer, who is sorting out all the shit as we speak, is collating all the tapes because it's a trilogy. We went to California. We did the vegan vampire movie called Back to Drac. And that went horribly wrong, but we've turned it around into a kind of mockumentary. And then we have Laundry Matt. That's another short. And then we've got another one called Gatto Woman. It's about a woman who turns into a gatto. You know, it's encouraging people to not become fat twats by eating too much, like me. You know.
So, this series of films you're putting together, if people want more information on where they can find out, where do they go to find out more information?
www.mikebennettproducer.com.
Did you get that? www.mikebennettproducer.com.
Something called Music Glue. I didn't know what it was until yesterday, but it's on there. Rafter Marsh are the lawyers who are sorting out quite a lot of crap that has happened around the drama. Because the backstory is almost as amusing and alarming as the actual story.
Sounds like you could do a film about the backstory.
Well, when I was in prison in Los Angeles, I was in LA County Jail. That's where it started. I was living in California, and I was in LA County Jail. The guy that was my lawyer, who got me out of jail, represents a lot of very interesting people, hence the Daryl Hannah connection. So, he introduced me to Rami from the Foo Fighters, and I was cleared of all charges. I'm thrilled to say. Thank you, Terry, again. Got me out of it again. And I told him the story of Laundry Matt, and he said, it wasn't really 15p. He said, there's some fucking dosh, make the film. And I made the film. I reenacted it in a place called the Crab Shack. I acted it out word for word. He said it's got to be a movie. And then we're both vinyl junkies, so we went to a place called Vinyl Solution, and he came out with another idea. He said, write a documentary. This is the oldest, most antiquated vinyl record store in the whole of California. I said, nah, I'm not a documentary person. And then I found out that the guy owning it was called Drac. I said, if I can put a plot around it and have vegan vampires living in the vaults, I'm in. And so we've done it. Back to Drac will be out. We have had an offer from Troma Films already. We've had an offer from One Media IP at Pinewood Studios. I've got to give a shout out to Michael Infante for taking on such a risky thing. I wrote for Rick Mail at Pinewood quite a lot, and it was the Grimm's Fairy Tales. And then I did Bobby Davro for them. They're a record label, but they're a multimedia company. But they are taking on something a little bit risky, really.
Well, it's good that they're doing it, and we really look forward to seeing it. We've got the website, Mike Bennett website, and we look forward to seeing what the future holds for you.
I'd like to just say thank you to Georgina Robinson, Terry Marsh, and who else? Steve Watson, for making it happen and making me look organised. And I'd like to thank my PA for making me look organised. And I'd like to thank all my engineers for making me sound talented.
Well, we'd like to thank you for all the work you do, and it's been great talking to you, and hopefully we'll see you back here at MMTV soon, yeah?
I'd love to come back. It's been great fun, and I found a singer down there too, and I've signed them up.
Well, we look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
We're going to be having some music from Monica and Monica's band in a minute, so...
MU rates and pot noodles on the rider, apparently.
Well, there you go. We had a poet before who had a Kinder Egg on his rider. But let's... Mike Bennett, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, mate. Really appreciate it. OK, we've got more live music shortly with the Monica Ward Band. We're going to be talking to two of Bury's most infamous musicians, Mick Kiernan and Steve Ferringo. Can't wait to have a chat with them. We'll be back shortly over there with some live music. OK, so it's MMTV Live from Marley Mancunia's studio in Manchester. We hope you're keeping well. Don't forget, wherever you are watching this from, please do share it as much as you can all around the world. Manchester's premier online rock and roll television channel. It is time for some more live music. This is the brilliant Monica Ward Band.
seem to get involved. You close the door and always make your excuses. Why do I feel like I'm out in the cold? And it hurts, oh it hurts. But something's got to give before we get through. 'Cause sometimes it hurts, and what hurts is being hurt by you. Don't you realize that I do have an opinion? I may be wrong, but I need to be heard. What made you laugh now only makes you defensive. It seems so cruel and it seems so absurd, and it hurts, oh it hurts. I feel lost, I don't know what to do. 'Cause sometimes it hurts, and what hurts is being hurt by you. Oh yeah, I don't wanna spend another night with someone who can only fucking fight. Now step aside if you want me to. Oh yes I will. I don't wanna be the one to tear it up. I don't wanna be the one to break it down. But every time we talk, to me we only go round and round and round. You can either leave it, or you can start to change it. Give up the games that you play. Now you better start to say the things you mean. Start to mean the things you say, or you'll let this slip away. I don't understand why we have this confusion. Everything I do with you in mind. And it seems so wrong, and I can see what you're using. Sometimes it hurts, oh it hurts. I feel lost, I don't know what to do. 'Cause sometimes it hurts, and what hurts is being hurt by you. 'Cause sometimes it hurts, and what hurts is being hurt by you. Yeah. I've been waiting so long. I've been wondering, hanging on. If you believe in me, then you realize, then you'll see. She's got diamonds on her feet. She's got style and she's unique. She trembles inside. She feels so alive. She's a princess, she's adored. Always keeps you wanting more. She trembles inside. She feels so alive. Salvation, my dear. Where do we go? What do you feel? Salvation, my friend. Where do we go? Where does it end? Just a little girl inside. She's so vulnerable, hanging on. Her destiny so clear. Now you realize, now you feel. She's got diamonds on her feet. She's got style and she's unique. She trembles inside. She feels so alive. She's a princess, she's adored. Always keeps you wanting more. She trembles inside. She feels so alive. where the beat goes, where does it end?
So there we go, MMTV. A big thank you to the brilliant Monica Ward Band. You are watching MMTV Unlocked. Our next guests are over there. Let's go and meet them. So MMTV, live from Marlin Mancuni's studios in Manchester. My next guests are without a doubt two of the most infamous musicians from the Bury Bolton part of the world. Great friends of mine. I've known them for a long, long time. It's a pleasure to have them with us tonight. They've raised loads of money for charities over the year, as well as entertaining thousands and thousands of people. From the Steve Ferringo Band, I'd like to introduce you to Steve Ferringo himself and Mick Kiernan. How are you, lads?
Hello, how are you?
Hey, listen, great to see you. It's normally like at a festival or something I bump into you, so it's nice to be in like a different surrounding.
Just to be able to sit down and have a chat is a difference, because we're always up to something each, aren't we? I mean, we keep you busy.
Yeah, it's true that, yeah, because we're going to talk about Ferringo Fest shortly, and obviously I've, you know, from doing gigs and stuff, I've worked you a lot over the years, but recently it's been more Ferringo Fest, which we'll get onto in a minute. But first of all, the Steve Ferringo Band, where and when did it all start?
1987 was when the first Steve Ferringo Band ever did an outing, which was just me and three of my friends who are still in touch with now, and they still do things for us, like videos, and they're not in the band anymore, but on from there it just developed. From every year it was somebody different joining, and from being a bit rubbish, it got to somebody a bit better. And over the years, and then we're lucky enough to get somebody like Mick in the band, who's very good at what he does.
Mick, but you've been in a lot of bands over the years, haven't you? You know.
A few, yeah.
Yeah. But so for those, like obviously in the North Manchester part of the world, everyone knows the Steve Ferringo Band, but it's safe to say you're not a normal band.
Not normal, though, but we've never took ourselves very seriously.
Basically, what the Steve Ferringo Band is, it's a great rock and roll band that have a laugh in it. You know, you dress up and all that kind of stuff.
That's all it's ever been. We get dressed up and we look like something your parents would never want you to meet. So it's always been a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing. But then when we realised that the better the musicians you got involved and the tighter the music got a bit, and we were just copying other people, basically, put our own slants on it. And we got a bit better known. We were lucky. We got a few good breaks, and we did it for a living for quite a few years.
I was going to say, you at the time, the Steve Ferringo Band had a massive, massive following, didn't you? You know, on the circuit and in your own right.
We'd be out like 5 nights a week, and we'd be off. We wouldn't see our families or anything for like, and we'd be off over to Ireland, up Scotland, everywhere in Britain. It sounds like living the dream, doesn't it? But
it was pre-lockdown. Obviously.
It was pre-lockdown, yeah. I mean, we couldn't do it now, but it was fantastic at times. I mean, the playing on stage, like anybody will tell you, is like the playing was fantastic, the laugh and everything. Sitting in a van looking at each other for like how many hours. Every single band you've ever heard of was saying, well, that's a bit boring, but yeah, we were blessed. We got away with it for ages.
So the Steve Ferringo Band, for a long time, you had a great following, you know, doing it as a living and all that. And one of the reasons we brought you to MMTV tonight is to talk about Ferringo Fest, a song you brought out recently, and the amount of money you've raised, you know, over that time, over the last few years, £40,000 for the charities. Yeah. Before we talk about that, though, 2014 was a bit of a challenging time, shall we say, in your life, and that's when the time came that you did start raising the money for charity because of your own personal experiences. Tell us, if you don't mind, tell us what happened.
I don't mind talking about it. Well, 2014, my wife, Ange, she got diagnosed with cancer. Actually, back in her 13, actually. And she got treated very well by the Macmillan and Blood Cancers. As you know, it's two charities that are very close to my heart. And it went on for a while. She survived certain things. She got treated very well. But unfortunately, in 2015, I lost Ange. And not long after that, I got diagnosed myself. You'll never guess where. But, I mean, it's like... it's just one of them things. It's just unlucky. But I got a tremendous eye view of what goes on. I mean, when people say the Macmillan or blood counts, people who never suffered with anything. We all know somebody that suffered with cancer. We can all say our mate, our mum, whatever. There's also bits of family and friends. But if you've ever been in the actual front line of it and see what they actually do, you think, blimey. And then when you find out that they don't get paid proper, which I know we can all moan about that with the NHS at the moment, but that's when it became precious to me. And especially when I survived, and I was very lucky to with my treatment. I mean, I lost the logo, which is, neither here nor there, because I weren't listening anyway. But just to be here and to be able to do things like play with my band and enjoy life again, that's when I thought, let's get something going, let's pay some money back to these people that need it.
So you came through a time that it's safe to say a lot of people would have struggled coming through, and you came back, and what you've done since then has been pretty amazing. You decided to put a festival together called Fringo Fest, which we'll bring Mick in a minute as well. When you decided to do a festival, you must have realised how respected you were. Did you expect it to end up as big as what it did?
No, did it? No, it started on as just being one gig, didn't it? It was just like, we'll do a gig, whatever money we take on the door, we'll give to the charities. And that's it. And then a few other people like Duffy, Duffy, people who are a bit mad, and Bucko, who does so much for charity. They went, hang on, you're missing the game. You get involved, get a fest. This could be a regular. And so many local bands who there's some talented lads who do. There's some who just do it for a laugh like us, whatever. Some of them are young lads now want to get involved and broadcast their band. Like you said, we've got up to about 40,000 quid what we've earned over the last few years. We've been very lucky doing it and getting the right people involved. People have been sponsors, so many sponsors, people being generous.
Mick, when you heard about it, obviously, like I say, I've known you over the years through different bands, but when you heard about the Fringo Fest and all that, how easy was it for you to go, this is going to take off, let's do it?
Well, obviously, I've been on the journey with Steve for probably getting on for 30 years. And I was there when all the bad times, shall we say. And Steve mentioned this, and we was like, yeah, we've got to do this, And it amazed me just how big it was. It was just like the first 3 years, it was just like, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. To be honest with you, this year surprised me the most, because we couldn't do it this year. We couldn't do it as we normally do it. As you know, you're there every year, so you know what it normally is. It's a massive event. We couldn't do it. So we did it virtually. Again, all down to this guy. Very little down to me. More down to him than anybody. And we've still raised $5,000 this year, nearly $5,000 already.
What happened, obviously, was the Fringo Fest. I mean, I didn't do the first couple with you. I think the first time I met you, was at... I think it was probably the Black Pudding throwing gig what used to take place. Did he play at the back of that pub in Ramsbottom on Black Pudding throwing day?
The Black Pudding, well, I have done it, yeah.
Yeah,
so
with the bands there. Anyway, so a few years ago, I got involved with Fringo Fest, and I work on a lot of festivals throughout summer, and it genuinely is one of my favourite ones because it's just a great day.
It's massive, isn't it? It's great.
Honestly, out of all the festivals I work on, I genuinely really look forward to it because it is just a brilliant, brilliant fun day. So this year, obviously, because of COVID-19, it couldn't go ahead. What made you decide to think, right, well, I'll tell you what, let's do an online one?
Well, another thing we take part in every year is, I just mentioned it before, Bucko, one of our friends, he arranges a thing called Glastonbury, which is, I know it's the name, but it's in Bury, where we all live. And he's been doing that for like 12 years now. And again, he was one of the ones that pushed us into saying, why don't you do this? And it was just, they did this thing every Saturday night where they have about 4 or 5 guitarists on, online. I've been watching it for months now, well, I've been now to do. And we all sort of thought, them that know how to operate a computer and stuff better than I do, we might be able to do this, And we had, the more we got into it, yeah, let's do it. So we had a couple of bands on, we had... me and Mick did a bit in my house, and he was in one room and I was in the other before anybody started.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
But it's like we've had a couple of lads, a band in Leeds who we've been wanting to play with, somebody in London playing. It was just tremendous, and we could hook it up. And it's the first time I've ever done it, and if it happens again, we'll know a bit better. so it just clicks a bit.
Well, hopefully next year we can do it proper. You know?
Let's hope so. Fringo Fest 2020 took place. It was online. All the bands sent sets in. I actually hosted it. I went in the middle of a field. I remember the farmer coming out with this massive dog. Oh, what are you doing? But anyway, he let me do it. So I did all the hosting in between from a field. And yeah, it was brilliant. It was so well received. And like you say, a lot of people was doing online stuff. But I was watching that day, and the number of comments and people donating and stuff, it was an absolute credit to us.
People have been so generous, you know, and just local companies who sponsor us, just phoning up and saying, right, what do you want? It's like, you feel a bit cheeky at first, but when you realise that they're serious and they want to remain involved with it, we're very lucky, aren't we?
And it's not just Fringo Fest, it's become known as Sunday Fun Day, the day before Bank Holiday Monday, isn't it?
the one.
That's like, it's like the best tagline for a festival ever, isn't it?
Again, that was him.
It was just one of them things, you know, when you be like say something and it's on Sunday and you just blurts out and you think, and somebody says, where did you get that from? I think, I didn't know I had got it from. And ever since then, it's practically my middle name, you know. Whatever.
So sadly, Fringo Fest couldn't take place this year. Fingers crossed it'll be back next year. It took place online, but the real thing will be back next year. So he decided to do something else as well, which is without a doubt one of the greatest novelty songs ever written. The song, we're going to watch it in a minute. The song, first of all, is called...
Off to the Shop.
Off to the Shop. My mind went totally blank on it. It's called Off to the Shop. We're going to watch the video in a minute, so don't tell too much about it. What made you come up with a song? What made you think, everyone's saying the same things, let's put it in a song?
Pretty much that. Because every time, you know, when you're allowed to go and get your shopping, you've got to stay so far away from each other. And then as soon as you get there, I start moaning because I think, hang on a minute, he's nowhere, you know, he's not queued up, he's not 2 meters away from me, he's not, hang on, you're going wrong way, there's arrows there, you're going wrong way, come on. And I end up, and as I'm doing it in my head, I thought, well, there's a bit of fun to be had here, surely, you know.
I'll tell you what, right, I'm laughing because I've seen the video a million times. What we're going to watch now is what we're talking about. This is Steve Feringo and Friends, and this is Off to the Shops.
I'm off to the shop, do you want out? I'm off to the shop, do you want out? I'm off to the shop, do you want out? Do you want out? Do you want out? I'm off to the shop, do you want out? I'm off to the shop, do you want out? I'm off to the shop, do you want out? Do you want out? Do you want out? Not them low fat ones. Not them low fat ones. Not them low fat ones. I get it. Low fat ones. Oh, and a loaf. Q goes right round car park. Q goes right round car park. Q goes right round car park. Well, you know, you get it. Follow arrows when you get in. Follow arrows when you get in. Follow arrows when you get in. Yeah, 2 meters, get back, love. 2 meters, get back, love. 2 meters, get back, love. Come on, play a game. Arrows pointing that way, pal. Arrows pointing. It's that way. Arrows pointing that way, pal. Some people, Pick me up some fags. Some gin for your mum. Soon be your turn, love. Soon be your turn. Soon be your turn, love. Wind your chin in. They got loads of bog roll. They got loads of bog roll. Loads of bog roll. Some people, I didn't see him in queue. I didn't see him in queue. I didn't see him in queue, did you? 2 meters. Trolley's on one side, she's on t'other. Trolley's on one side, she's on t'other. Trolley's on one side, she's on t'other. Have a look, love, come on. Some full fat milk. They're doing the best, love. Give 'em a chance. They're doing the best, love. Give 'em a chance. They're doing the best, love. Get off the back. They can't watch this morning. Contactless helps them out. Contactless helps them out. Contactless helps them out. Do your bags outside, they're busy. She's NHS. Gets it from. He's NHS. Gets it from. They're NHS. Gets it from. Gets it from. Gets it from. She's NHS. Gets it from. She's NHS. Gets it from. They're NHS. Gets it from. Gets it from. Come on, love. Have you put your lottery on? I'm off to the shop, do you want out? I'll leave it in porch. Play the game, love, come on. Did loads of bog roll. I didn't see them in queue. Soon be your turn, love. Arrows pointing that way, pal. 2 meters, get back, love. They're not them low fat ones. Can't wait to see you proper. Can't wait to see you proper. Can't wait to see you proper. She's NHS. He's NHS. They're NHS. Get to front. Leave it in an envelope under the bin. No, backs it.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's so good. When you put that video together, right, it's obviously, we've just watched it. It's filmed outside the local supermarkets and everything. What were people looking at you like while you were doing that video?
Well, it started off when I recorded it just for a laugh, and then my mate had done some videos for us. He said, come on, we've got to make a video out of this. Obviously, easy people to get involved with me. It's like people like Mick, a few other people like Lee, and just people who just snap your fingers and they'll say, I'm doing something silly, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes, and they'll be there. They don't even ask what you're doing. And I'm lucky to know people like that, you know. Bucko, get the lad who arranges...
I must admit, mate, you look quite fetching on that video with that trolley.
You like my Speedos?
Yeah, do you look good? Yeah, you look good. You look good.
But it was great at the back of the co-op, weren't we, in Tottington?
Yeah.
And like people are going actually doing the shopping. And we're there dressed as women and all sorts of things. And they're coming back and they're like looking at it and they're thinking, what the hell are they doing there? But it was...
There's a mate of ours called Rick. He's a guitarist,
yeah.
right? And he just randomly walked out the shop. He didn't even know we were doing it. And Steve just went, yeah, get in here. And he's in the video, you know what I mean? He's like, and he
didn't even ask, did he?
He didn't even ask. He just went like, okay, whatever.
And obviously, you know, you shared it on social media. We did a lot for it. You ended up on like your BBC. You were covering it and all sorts. Did you expect that kind of reaction?
No. The BBC just got on quite quick, and it was, can we come and interview you at your house? And I thought, of course you can. First, when you hear that call, you think somebody's taking mickey, you know. But yeah, they was there. It was just so much fun to do, and then obviously just doing things like walking my dog and stuff. Fantastic. You get people shouting it at you, you know, hey, I'm off to the shop, do you want it? And he's like, you're trying to be like,
If people have watched that video and want to see it anywhere else, or they even want to donate or buy the song, is there any way they can see it?
Yes, there is, and I'll show you something, because we brought you something.
No one brings me presents.
Look at what it says on our bag. If I bend it in a it says shop, right? So yeah, there you go, Dave. Open that. That's for you.
Let's have a look at this.
Because
what, here first
what we decided was because
we've got an off to the shop face mask. I'll be putting that on later on when I go to the garage on the way home. Thank you. And what else have we got in here then? Let's have a look at this.
Decided to go up the merchandise roll here.
Look at this. Hang on a minute. Could we just have a look at that there? Could we just get that T-shirt there? That's good, that, innit? Cheers, lads.
Personalised as well when you're asking for them.
Personalised off to the shop T-shirt. I'll be wearing that. I'll be wearing that to the next one.
Because we got the song onto iTunes and Spotify and all that, which people can download, and it's only 99 pence. And all the money goes to the Macmillan and to Blood Counts. And then we decided, just another thing, we decided, a lovely lady, Margaret, who makes these things here, and she's at it every day, and she's done so much. Maggie, thanks Maggie, if you're watching this. She does it all the time, and we're knocking these out just for a laugh. And again, all the money we get, it just goes straight to the charities. We're not making out, and it's just for a laugh.
Do you know what? Thank you. If people want to get their hands on any of these, where can they get them?
Well, an interesting thing here for you, Dave. Right? Okay. If you scan that...
How modern's this?
How in front of it here, kids. Right? So if you've got a phone, right, on camera, and you scan that, it takes you to the Faringo Fest site. And if you don't want to be scanned, www.faringofest.co.uk. On there, you can watch the video and you can order things like this straight off there. But you can, if you happen to have one of these and your mate says, "What the blooming heck's that?" Just scan it and it takes you straight to that on your phone. Quid's in, we're all happy.
I'll tell you what we'll do as well. We'll get whoever's running social media for MMTV to share it as well. And can we even put a link on the video somewhere here if that's possible? That'd be great. Off to the shops. It's a brilliant song.
I brought my cap as well, and I'll make this an online thing, right? So this is the cap award. online. If somebody wants to bid me on this, so I'll let this go for about 500 quid. If you want to bid it, get on faringofest.co.uk. You can have it for 500 quid. I'll sign it. I'll do whatever you want to it.
So somewhere on the screen now it will say Faringo Fest, and we'll get it shared on social media as well. But it's brilliant. It's such a great idea and song. And to be honest with you, out of all the
It's not paid yet.
out of all the bands I work with, I think there's only you lads could pull it off as well. To be honest.
Thank you very much.
Can I just say a quick little thing just before we
Go on, of course
we
you can,
finish?
mate, yeah.
It's just, we had a bit of sad news earlier this week. Denise Johnson passed away earlier this week. Denise, I was privileged enough to work with Denise years ago. She sang on a couple of our tunes, and she was just a prodigious talent.
She was
just
great, and I think everybody on the
incredible.
Manchester music scene knew it. And we are
so
actually,
sad to hear that this week. You know, it's just.
we're going to be having a little tribute to her at the end of the show. So thank you for
Good.
mentioning
I just
that.
wanted
and
to
I know,
get that in. You know what I mean?
It was
Sorry.
sad. She was a great person, and to be honest,
I was
social
very
media's
lucky
been
to
full
work
of
with
it,
her,
hasn't it?
you know.
It's unbelievable. Rightly so.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've done Faringo Fest. We've done all the thousands of pounds you've raised for charity. We've done off-tit shops. We're hoping Faringo Fest will be back in 2021. In the meantime, what's going on with you lads? What about, first of all, Mick, what's your plans for the next, while we're in lockdown?
Well, to be honest, obviously we've no gigs. We've got a few virtual things coming up. Well, yeah, but I mean, obviously, Steve mentioned Glastonbury earlier. I think we're going to be looking at doing a virtual Glastonbury.
Yeah.
At the end of August.
Bucko actually rung me up during the week about that. So
Yeah. I mean, we're going to put. I think we're going to put something on at the end of the year ourselves. But as far as bookings are concerned,
Sorry, as soon as we get the chance, we're just going to go for it because we
obviously.
miss playing, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, at the moment, the advice is just so random, isn't it? You know.
Nobody knows. Just one last
Exactly.
thing, and this is totally off the cuff. Have you got a potential date for Faringo Fest next year yet?
Yes, Sunday, fun day, the day before the bank holiday Monday, the last bank holiday in May, because there's always two, one at the beginning, one at the end. I forgot what the day is, but the second one, Sunday.
Sunday.
You miss your
Monday.
link then,
I'll
Dave.
just
Sunday.
Sunday fun day, the day before Bank Holiday Monday.
That's the one.
That's the one. And seriously, I wasn't just saying it because these lads are here. It is one of my favourite festivals to do. So remember that date, the last Bank Holiday Sunday fun day, the day before Bank Holiday Monday. The last one in May. Next year, things will be back to normal. We'll get there because it is brilliant, such a good day. But listen, Steve Faringo, Mick Kiernan, top lads, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us on.
Nice one, Dave.
And don't forget Faringo Fest, get on the website, support it, because the work and the money that they raise is just absolutely amazing. But cheers, lads. Steve Faringo and Mick Kiernan live on MMTV. Cheers, lads. So a massive thank you, as always, for joining us for MMTV Unlocked. We've been live from Marley Mancunia's studio in Manchester. I've been Dave Sweetmore, and don't forget our new rock and roll diner is now open throughout the week as well. All the information is on all the MMTV social media channels. Before we let you go, though, we just need to remind you that even though there's not a lot of festivals taking place this year, Fest, Marley Mancunia Fest, will be taking place on Saturday the 22nd of August at the World Irish Heritage Centre in Manchester. The lineup is amazing. So many great bands playing. Flechette's Black Sonic Revolver, Anti-Blowback Technology, The Moods, so many great bands playing. And obviously it is reduced capacity. We're down to the last 50 or 60 tickets, so you really, really need to get them in, and it will be going ahead. You can get the tickets off the bands, or you can get them from the facebook.com/Marley Mancunia MCR Facebook page. But like I say, it is going to sell out this week, so get your tickets, and we'll see you for Fest on Saturday the 22nd of August, 12 o'clock at the World Irish Heritage Centre in Manchester. And like I say, it's going to sell out this week, and once it's sold out, we've got news of something else special. We give you too much, don't we? Anyway, for tonight, a massive thank you to all of our guests. Thank you to the Monica Ward Band, the Drug Cheat Athletes, and of course, the Vinnie Peculiar Band, and all of our brilliant guests who have been on tonight. Carl Hildebrand, Mike Bennett, Steve Faringo, Mick Kiernan, and of course the brilliant Justin Eagleton. On behalf of myself, all of the production team of MMTV, stay safe, look after yourselves, and we'll see you at the festival on the 22nd of August, and the date of the next MMTV show in the studio will be announced there for you as well, though. I've been Dave Sweetmore. Take it easy. Good night. Before we do finish tonight, during the week, we had the very sad news that a Manchester music legend, Denise Johnson, sadly and suddenly passed away. Everybody in Manchester who works on the music scene knew Denise. She worked with so many bands over the years, from Primal Scream, New Order, Certain Ratio, Space Monkeys, so many bands, and it really has shocked the Manchester music world. She was a good friend of all of ours at MMTV, and before we leave you tonight, we'd like to finish with our little tribute to the one and the only Denise Johnson.